Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though ye know them, and be established in the present truth.
What shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose it? So some people say, oh, you know, if God is going to take away that from me and that from me and that from me, then I guess I'll be through with him. I'll never forget, I remember one person said, if I have to give up chicken to go to heaven, then I guess I'll be lost. You're going to give up heaven for a piece of chicken? You see, my friends, Jesus is not interested in all of that. Jesus wants your heart. And if there's anything in your life that will hold you back from giving your heart, Jesus says, please just put it down. He said, love not the world, neither the things in the world. For if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. All God wants to do is to take away those things that are going to hurt us. Whether it's in diet or in dress or in education or in music, he only wants to take away something so that he can give us something better. Can you imagine what it would be like today if a man were holding on to a $10 bill, clutching it, and somebody said, would you just give it to me? And he said, I want to give you $1 million, but first you have to give me that $10 bill. And there are people today that will hold on and say, I want to hold on to this. But if you'll just open up your hands and your hearts to Jesus, he will take that heart that you have and he'll give you a new heart. Oh, my friends, if we will turn our eyes upon Jesus, it does not matter what takes place. God will set our house in order. It doesn't matter how far we've strayed. If we'll come back to Jesus today, I'm going to close with this story. I'll never forget reading this story of a man during the time of World War II. He was being rushed out of Germany. Bombs were exploding everywhere. You remember the great Holocaust and Hitler and all the rest. All of this was taking place and bombs were exploding everywhere. And so this man was being rushed from his house. And this time this man said, they have taken everything from me. Family was gone. His wife was taken away. His children were taken from him. And the only thing he had left was the things he had in his house. And they told him, you have to get out. The bombs are exploding. There's a bomb shelter you need to run to. And this man was taking up his 2 bags and he started gathering all of his belongings, taking down the most important things. Imagine trying to take all of your house and put them in 2 bags. Could you do it? And this man is putting everything. He's complaining all the while. I've given up everything. He says, everything that's important to me are in these 2 bags. And he said, I'm not going to let anybody else take anything else from me. That man with those 2 bags ran out of his house. He could hear the bomb shells exploding. He could see the planes flying back and forth. And just in the distance was the bomb shelter that everybody was running to. Alarms were going off and rushing them. And there's a big line. And they're all walking toward the bomb shelter, trying to go in single file into the ark of safety. And as he got closer, he began to notice the little door that let them into that room. And this is the true story. And as he took those 2 bags, he gets close up to the door and recognizes that it's so packed in that room that he cannot take those 2 bags and himself and fit into that shelter. And he stands there trying to make a decision. He said, they took everything from me. I'm not going to give them these 2 bags. And he's standing there trying to contemplate. He's standing there trying to decide what he's going to do. And when he did that, there were other men beside him. And they said, man, we're trying to get into that shelter. You must hurry up, be quick. And they pushed him aside and said, you make up your mind, we're going in. And they rushed him beside and pushed him to the side. And the man who tells the story was behind him. He said he remembers seeing the anguish on that man's face as he passed him by, entered into the bomb shelter. And a few moments later, they all shut the door. There were so many people packed inside that the man said he couldn't see where the man was. But the anguish on his face never left him. Then he said that after the hours passed by and the danger, the threats of bomb was over, all of those people came out with their lives, were happy, and they forgot all about what had taken place just hours before. They were going back to their homes. And as they walked out of the shelter, they looked, and to the right was a man that was lying on the ground clutching 2 bags. And when I read that story, my mind was impressed with the reality that there are many people that want to find security in Jesus Christ. But they have so much baggage and so much things in their life that they're not willing to let those things go. And there are going to be many that are going to hold on to things and say, I'm not going to let God take this from me and that from me and this from me. I don't care what he says. Nothing is going to be changed. And you're going to hold on to those things. And unless you surrender to Jesus, we'll be lost. Oh, my friends, this morning, let's say to God, I want to set my house in order. Whether that thing is in our kitchen, whether that thing is in our bedroom or in our closets, that whether it's in our DVD collection or in our CD collection, or whether that thing is just in our hearts, because we've never given up our selfish selves. Let's say, Lord, I'll give it to you. Do you want to say that today? Oh, I believe there's somebody here that says, Lord, I know I'm holding on to something that needs to come out. I know that I'm holding something and nobody else knows. Your heads are bowed, your eyes are closed, and nobody knows but you and God. Don't come to the place where you're almost persuaded. Today, make a decision. Somebody says, Lord, I know that if probation were to close, if Jesus were to come today, I wouldn't be ready. There's something in my heart. There's something in my life. There's something in my experience that needs to come out. But Lord, I can't do it. You know we can't do anything without Jesus. But there's somebody that says, Lord, I love you so much that what would it profit me to gain the whole world and to lose my soul?
Are we teaching the truth in love? Telling it like it is. Are we holding pure motives, showing that we care? Are we teaching the